This happened. It just came out today about Kash Patel, director of the FBI, talking about whether Jeffrey Epstein killed himself or not. A lot of dislikes. I don't know.
Epstein, right? The reason people are pissed off about that is the same thing, right? 20 years ago or whenever it was, 2006, 7, 8, Epstein gets his sweetheart plea deal, right?
Sure.
Okay.
After committing the most horrific crimes on planet Earth, right? I wasn't in power there. I wasn't in place there. I had, nothing to do with it. But people were rightfully pissed. I mean, this guy was committing the most grotesque acts you can against children.
So where's the file?
And the media spins up about it. Many in the media protected him. Why? Because of his relationships, who he knew, who his bankers were, who his colleagues were, who was on the island and stuff like that. Some pretty powerful human beings. And so when you peel back the layer, and then what happened? The Trump administration, the last government decided, no, we're not going to let that go. We're going to investigate him, right? They charge him, they indict him.
Okay.
And he's awaiting trial.
Okay, we know all of this, so move on.
I've said it. Dan Bongino said it. We've reviewed all the information, and the American public is going to get as much as we can release. He killed himself. Do you think, let's play out the logical conclusion.
This is why people are pissed. This is why it had downvotes, is because people believe that he did not kill himself.
Yeah.
And when they hear that he killed himself, that's going to make them mad.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you think that myself, Bongino, and others would participate in hiding information about Epstein's grotesque activities? Or do you think...
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because we don't know the implications of it. Like, how could we possibly know that? But, like, I think a lot of people... The thing is that... Yeah, of course people would believe that that's possible. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying, but yeah, of course people could believe that. Especially when you say the files are coming out and then they don't come out.
True.
Yeah, then people are worried.
Absolutely.
We would also participate in not prosecuting people we had evidence to prosecute people on. But the problem is there's been like 15 years of people coming in and creating fictions about this that doesn't exist.
What?
Where's the videotape of an Epstein Island of X, Y, and Z committing these frauds? Why haven't you given it to us? Do you really think I wouldn't give that to you if it existed? I'm working my ass off along with the leadership at the Bureau and DOJ to get you what we're allowed to give you. And you're going to get the video.
Well, how are you allowed to? I mean, what do you mean by allowed? I mean, you're the one to make the rules, so, like, what do you mean by allowed?
That's true.
Of the cell. And you're going to see for yourself. And we will never be able to convince everyone.
Okay, let's get into that. So, what did you think before you got in office? Did you think that Epstein was murdered?
No.
No suspicion at all of it?
But I have a different background.
Well, he has a suspicion, but you just didn't know. Yeah, sure.
Right.
So I was a public defender back in the day. I used to spend a lot of time in jails and a lot of time in segregated housing units, SHUs as we call them, right?
Okay.
And so, and I've known people that have committed suicide in these cells.
Okay.
And I know how you get in, how you get out, who works the system. And so the way, based on public information at the time, that he ended up, the pictures and him hanging himself, I was like, man, that guy killed himself. There's just no way that you could have run an op and had people go into that cell and not have any video of it and not have any people come out and say, hey, yeah, I saw that guy. He shouldn't have been there, the guard or this guy. There's just no access points into places like this in the detention center he was in, which I've been in.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but what I was told, what I'd read, was that the guards were not paying attention or were sleeping.
Well,
right?
And in short order, you'll see it.
Is that correct?
Well, it's hard to surmise that from a video, right? Like, where they and look, do guards doze off on the night shift? Yeah. But no one can get in to the cell. And if they had gotten in to the cell, you would see it.
But we were told that the cameras were down.
Well, I don't know who said that.
But that was in the news.
Yeah, that was the official narrative, that the cameras went down, he died, and then the cameras came back up.
Even his brother didn't get anything.
We're giving you all the footage we have.
So what the fuck?
No, that's not an answer, bro.
Yeah.
This is the reason why people are getting worried and they're starting to cap on this, is because they just said, because he said, listen to what he just said.
But that was in the news.
We're giving you all the footage we have.
That is not an answer to whether the cameras went off or not.
Yeah.
That is a separate answer to a different question that wasn't asked.
Released like immediately. Why did this speculation escalate?
Yeah.
I think you'd have to ask whoever the Attorney General back then was, Bill Barr.
Did you ever see? Do you remember that HBO autopsy show? Dr. Michael Baden. He's a famous forensic
I don't think I've seen
scientist. So he's a pathologist, and he reviewed the case, and it was his determination that it was a homicide because of the way his neck was broken.
Okay.
And what he said was it was indicative of a ligature strangulation. And it was because of the positioning on the neck where the marks were, that it wasn't indicative of someone hanging by their weight, which had been higher on the chin.
Okay,
There's
this
a
is stuff
specific
that we
break
knew
of the
before.
bones and the vertebrae that's consistent with someone who is just strangled.
Jesus, bro, like, he's going in on
I
this.
haven't seen it.
I haven't seen
Full
it.
detail,
The
like
thing
Joe.
is that
Come on.
whether Epstein killed himself or not is, like, in my opinion, not really the big. That's not the big thing. He's dead.
Yeah.
What about all the other people that were involved with him? You're telling me that you haven't even been able to get a single name of a single person, not even one person. Ghislaine Maxwell? Well, yeah, but she was like his accomplice, right? This is a very different thing. Not a single person.
Definitely take a look at it because that's part of my
He's
job.
going to have to look at it.
You haven't seen that?
The report on
Yeah.
that? No, I haven't looked at that.
Did you see any? Was there any other autopsy done other than the official one?
Because he said he didn't look
Not
at
to
it.
my
What was he
knowledge, but
doing
if there
all
was,
this time
You'll
then?
get it, and that's what we're doing.
Was he busy with
See if
other
you can
stuff?
find that
Other
Dr. Michael
shit?
Baden
Yeah.
thing.
No,
Did you remember that show, the HBO show?
Oh, they're going
Pretty
to
cool
watch
show.
it
So
together?
this guy, Dr. Michael Baden,
Oh, that's good.
he had a long career of catching murderers, exhuming bodies, finding trace amounts of poisons, different kinds of things. And it was a crazy show, like all these wild ways. Of
Well, I
people-
love watching shows, and I spend a lot of time on planes.
Yeah, it was an old show. It was a
Okay.
show like from the early 2000s, I believe. But this guy was like, this very well-respected forensic scientist who would analyze these bodies, and it was his determination that he
I
was
just
murdered.
noticed.
And my job, going back to the core of what I've been
Yeah.
doing since I stood
He
Russian.
just goes, yep. All right. Well, anyway, so, guys,
He's
yeah.
trying to move on from this, right?
I mean, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I love watching shows. Yeah, guys, I think he was just acknowledging that what Joe said, right? He's just like, oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, this guy saying that he got murdered isn't definitive. But, like, there sure seems like there's a lot of stars aligning in order for this to occur. Like, I'm not certain. Like, Kash Patel could be telling the truth. And it could be possible that he did just straight up kill himself, and that's possible.
Okay.
But, again, I think the reason why people don't believe that is that nobody else's head has rolled because of this.
Okay.
There's been no other trials, and so
Makes
when you
sense.
have this like massive, like this massive thing that happens, and people are going to jail for trafficking,
Okay.
but who are they trafficking to and from? How is this happening? Where are the logs? Where is all of this stuff?
True.
How credible is the source claiming the cameras are off? Yeah, exactly. Where's the client list? Yeah, Epstein's accomplice Pierre literally died the same way under the same circumstances. Well, that's convenient. But so the thing is, I think a lot more people would believe that Epstein killed himself if there were convictions and at least like people getting arrested for being involved with this, right? So like if I saw them doing arrests over and over and over, I would say, oh, okay, yeah, maybe he did kill himself.
Okay.
But
okay.
it's both of these and all of these things coming together. That's the reason why people don't trust it.
Yep. Makes sense.
Yeah, guards asleep, cameras off, all the junk in his cell, hard drive corrupted. Yeah. I mean, like, how many stars have to align in order for this to happen? And it just so conveniently happens in the way that protects all of these really powerful people that are billionaires?
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. That seems like a coincidence.
Yeah. That's how it sounds like, right?
Was to get and is to get everybody the information.
When did you get here? Epstein's autopsy points to homicide. Pathologist hired by brother claims. New York City medical examiner strongly disputed the claim that the evidence from the autopsy.
This is just one person. You can't be sure it's true or not.
Okay, yeah.
But again, it's not even about. He's already dead.
Like
it's not like finding out that he didn't
then.
kill himself is going to bring him back to life, and then we can fucking get a testimony out of him. Like you.
Suggested strangulation.
What can anyone do about it? Yeah,
so
nobody can.
By the way, this is the New York Times, and they never lie.
Yeah.
The private pathologist,
right.
Dr. Michael Baden, said the morning TV show Fox and Friends, Mr. Epstein experienced a number of injuries, among them a broken bone in his neck, that are extremely unusual in suicidal hangings and could occur much more commonly in homicidal strangulation. I think the evidence points to homicide rather than suicide, said Dr. Baden, who observed the autopsy done by city officials. Ooh. Dr. Baden, a former New York City medical examiner and a Fox News contributor, said, I have not seen in 50 years where that occurred in suicidal hanging case.
The only way that this makes sense why they're not releasing the information, I think that the Biden administration didn't release it on Trump because it would also incriminate the Biden administration.
Probably.
And I think the Trump administration isn't releasing it on the current people because it would incriminate themselves and Republicans. And I think the reason why you have this Cold War is because there is probably a third party that has all of the information.
Okay.
Probably, I don't know, like you could say, I mean, I think that, you know, if you're a conspiracy, Andy, Israel or China, right, has all of the actual information. And if one side releases it and it's not complete, then they will release the fully complete thing. That's the only way that it can make sense, that nobody has tried to weaponize this information and redact the parts that make their side look bad. Or BlackRock. Well, I'm just saying, like, there is a third party, whether that is BlackRock, Mossad, China, Putin, a hacker group. I have no idea.
Findings by Dr. Baden were strongly disputed by the city's chief medical examiner, Dr. Barbara Sampson, who previously ruled that Mr. Epstein's death on August 10th in the Metropolitan Correctional Center was a suicide. I stand firmly behind our determination of the cause and manner of death in this case. Dr. Sampson said in the interview on Wednesday. She added, in general, fractures of the hyoid bone and cartilage can be seen in suicides and homicides. The hyoid bone is near the Adam's apple. Dr. Sampson also dismissed Dr. Baden's contention that the circumstances around Mr. Epstein's death suggested other people may have been involved. She said her office had done a complete investigation, taking into consideration information gathered by law enforcement in making the determination.
Joe.
I can't wait for Joe Rogan to finish reading all this and then Kash Patel to just be like, damn, that's crazy.
Jesus Christ.
So this is a perfect example of going back to my public defender and prosecutor days.
Yeah.
This is what we call a war of experts. You can always find someone to come in and say the opposite.
Right.
To be fair, what he's saying now is completely true. He is completely right about that. And I remember, listen, I watched the entire Johnny Depp trial. I will never look at experts the same after I watch that trial.
And I used to do it all the time.
COVID.
I mean, I represented some of the worst humans that you can possibly imagine on Earth. Literally. The guys that were trafficking children from Mexico into America.
That's bad. That's
and
bad.
You could put
That's really bad.
A professional expert to say, and this is what's going to go on forever. And my job is not the forever. My job is to get you absolutely everything that we can give you. And that's what we're going to do.
When did you become aware of this video that showed that no one had gone in and out of the cell?
Recently.
So why was it recent, though? I mean, if this death was, how long ago was this death? 2 years?
Couple.
2019?
So let me get this straight. One of the most noteworthy people that is connected to presidents and other heads of state internationally killed himself, and they thought the cameras were off, but recently they found out now that the cameras were in fact on, and they had a recording of it.
Okay.
Huh.
So convenient, right?
Oh, really?
Oh.
Why time flies. So 6 years.
Wow.
Well, again, that's part of what I'm going to try to answer for you.
Jeffrey Epstein jail CCTV erased by technical errors. Whoopsies.
No, it's erased.
Guys, bro. Oops. Was destroyed by it was destroyed by damn it. Man. Did Phil do that? He erased the tape again. Oh, it happens.
But you see how anybody on the outside, I mean, this is like a perfect storm for something. Can you pull that article up so we can read what it says, Jamie?
Yeah.
U.S. prosecutor said the jail mistakenly saved footage from the wrong cell. Sorry.
Oh.
Epstein, a convicted sex offender, first tried to kill himself in July last year and hanged himself in jail.
Hang on.
Yep.
Reread that line.
That he first tried to kill himself in July of last year. Yeah.
How much of the American public do you think knows that?
I didn't know that until right now.
There you go.
Maybe I heard it and forgot. Did you ever hear it, Jamie?
Well, that's why he was on suicide watch, I think.
Oh, okay.
So a guy
hanged himself in jail in August while serving trial on federal sex trafficking charge. He pleaded not guilty to abusing dozens of girls, some as young as 14. Yeah. Soon after Epstein's death in August, two of the CCTV cameras outside his cell had malfunctioned.
You know what? I want to do a poll. Let's create the poll. Yeah. And it's broken. We'll maybe at the end of the
poor guy.
And we're being examined by the FBI. Found semi-conscious in his prison cell with injuries on his neck. On 25 of July, after this incident, he's placed on suicide.
Well, couldn't you cross-reference?
I'm not saying.
Couldn't you cross-reference the injuries that he had on his neck, because there was obviously a medical report of that, and then the injuries after he killed himself to see if they lined up? Couldn't you do that?
Maybe.
Every single camera in the place was working. I'm saying we've got footage, and you're getting it.
You're getting it. When are we getting it? Are we getting it like tomorrow? Are we getting it at some point? Are we going to get it in like a week?
Yeah.
Like, when is this going to happen?
Then you can make up your own mind, and the theories can continue. But my job.
So you became aware of this footage recently.
The ones that we're looking at, yeah.
Right.
Okay,
but this is like an article from quite a while ago that was saying that the footage was mistakenly erased.
Look, I mean, it goes back to the same. Ask the people that were in power then. I mean, I get it that you want to hold me to account for their actions, and
no, I'm not saying,
you, not you.
I'm not saying that.
Not you. Just the public in general, and that's okay.
What's confusing to everybody today? First of all, it's very confusing because AI can kind of make anything.
Yeah.
You know, which has got to be.
They're probably going to fabricate something, right?
When you're looking at videos, I mean, I've watched Viking videos. It looked real as fuck. You know, they just make Viking towns. Yeah. I mean, it's really quite incredible what they're doing now, and it accelerates every month. I mean, I talked to Elon about it, and he said we're blown away literally every week. Every week there's some new breakthrough. We're like, wow, we didn't expect that.
Well, I can tell you after having looked at it, this ain't going to be AI.
You know,
sure?
You're gonna, it's just not great. You know, it's like if it were AI, like someone wanted to come in and make it, they'd make it better.
But why would you make it better when people could, you could have ambiguous footage that.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan is at this is actually crazy that he's asking these questions. This is more like, this is peak. Yeah, I know. He's actually asking this. Yeah, bro, can you imagine like how happy Alex Jones is going to be whenever he sees this video?
Oh yeah.
Like, he's going to be so happy.
Is totally generated by AI. I mean, AI can generate blurry images. AI can generate night vision. AI can generate essentially anything that's already existed, like really shitty 1984 VHS tapes.
Sure,
they can do that.
Yeah, I've seen that.
But I'm telling you, I'm giving you the tape from the tape. You know, there's just like I'm giving you the documents from the vault, just like I'm giving you information to Congress on COVID origins or what have you. What we find is what you're getting.
Okay, so now it's saying 2019, missing jail video from the first.
Come on.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, we knew about
now
all
we've
of
got
this.
another article.
And it keeps coming up and up.
Here. So here's the problem. As I said, if people were getting arrested and getting locked up for the Jeffrey Epstein stuff, I would believe that he killed himself. 100%.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't think that it's impossible to come to the conclusion that he did, in fact, kill himself. But the problem is that this is happening at the same time that there are no consequences for anyone at all, and it's this complete, opaque, like, incomprehensible bullshit. That's the reason why it's bad. Yeah, that's a stupid argument? No, I don't think that it is. Because, so, basically, if he didn't kill himself, and so let me think of a way to say this that makes sense. So basically, if the argument is that he actually just killed himself and it's just a freak accident that all the stars happen to align, that these things, like just happen, what about all of the other evidence involved with this entirely? It's that nothing with this is moving forward. Him killing himself is just simply a point of reference. It's one point on the graph of the straight line that reads like there is corruption. You see what I'm saying? Statute of limitations? Then put the information out regardless. Fuck it. Then if you can't try them and put them in jail, put the information out anyway and torch their reputation.
Yep.
Joe is asking real questions. Other journalists should strive. Yeah, exactly. Did Epstein kill himself? This is the poll from chat. Only 6% of people think that he killed himself.
Everyone else thinks.
That is insane. Think about that level of distrust in the government.
Jeffrey Epstein
6%.
So for the first attempt has been found. So
I think the rest of this video is going to be the same old, and he's probably going to dodge some questions and not even get engaged. So what do you guys think? So don't forget to like and subscribe. Please leave a comment down below. And I would love to see what you guys think about this. So see you guys next time. Same place online on MS Lit.